The offseason is coming to a close. Me and James want to give you one more final free agent video. We each came up with our own list of 5 free agents we think the Mets could, should, and maybe would sign this offseason before we hit spring training, before we hit opening day, truthfully. Some of these guys are probably going to still be available during spring training. Make sure you are subscribed to Mets'd on YouTube if you have not yet done so. If you listen to us, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, drop us a rating, drop us a review, download, and subscribe. Shout out all the members getting early access. We're approaching like 100 members over there. We really do appreciate you guys. And yeah, I mean, like the list isn't pretty, but I do think my 5 at least, I feel confident that if the Mets sign 1, let alone 2 of them, I feel like it's an even better team we already have.
I think my 5 is also fun. I think my 5 will be kind of very me, but I do want to start out with my first one. I think this is obligatory, which kind of inspired this video because per Chris Cotillo, who's a Red Sox reporter, the Mets are connected with Ty France right now. And that kind of got their juices flowing for doing a video like this, which I think is interesting given the Mets roster right now, but also given their kind of shifting philosophies this offseason. It makes a heap of sense.
It does, but I also hate it. I absolutely...
Why do you hate it?
Because Ty France is just like a soft punching first baseman. If we're starting to go like we're looking for the elite glove at first base, like I don't see a world where he really makes this team any better than it already is at this point. And this says a lot about me because we know I've been one of the biggest haters of Mark Vientos pretty much since the end of the 2024 season. I would rather find out if Mark Vientos has even an ounce left of what he had in 2024 rather than Ty France be getting at bats because he plays good first base defense. Let me just see what Jorge Polanco's got. Let me see what Brett Beatty's got. I don't want to take at bats ever away from those guys for a guy like Ty France who's just going to be a better defensive first baseman. I don't know. I don't buy it.
I don't disagree with you, but I don't think Ty France is as bad of a hitter as you're saying right now. Like Ty France right now, funny enough, there was kind of like the Ty France, like what's the word I'm looking for? Like
there was the falling in love with Ty France a couple years ago.
Yeah, there was the crescendo years ago when he was like a great 2-strike hitter, a RISP, like all the RBIs he had that one year. I think it was with the Mariners, and then all of a sudden he kind of like lagged back to being more of a kind of like a fifth infielder, like we say fourth outfielder a lot. Ty France became a very good fifth infielder, and last year he won the Gold Glove at that first base. And the year he spent with 2 different teams. But funny enough, his underlying metrics as a hitter don't look particularly different now than they ever did when he was having these great seasons production wise. I still think he's like he's probably like a 10% better than league average bat. And the funny thing about him with the first base defense is that he's a former second baseman, third baseman. And now he's a really good first base defender. So it's like, oh, okay, so maybe there is something here. But also 2 years ago, Ty France was a very bad first base defender. Like
That's what I'm going to say, yeah.
His metrics have gone up and down there, which could speak to just some of the the variability of OAA. But also, like, if you sign Ty France and then you knock Mark Vientos off this roster, what if he just sucks at first base defense?
Yeah, like, that's the thing. And I think I'd rather, again, just take the risk because I do see, like, the ceiling with Mark Vientos hitting-wise, which is an insane conversation to have. But like we saw it, and he can be a difference maker in the lineup if things click. It's a big if. We know there's things that have to improve, but I think at the absolute worst, he's probably just going to mash lefties better than Ty France. And I would rather take the risk on the oscillation of offense rather than the oscillation of defense for a guy who will never reach the heights that Mark Vientos could offensively.
Yeah, that's definitely true. But again, if nothing else, this might just be like the big...
Unless it's a spring training invite, like sure, then whatever.
It's probably not. Ty France probably deserves a major league guaranteed contract at this point. Carl Santana just got one. I get Carl Santana is a tier above Ty France. To give you guys a sense of where we are in the offseason right now anyway, but like this probably is just not so subtly telling the league we don't want Mark Vientos. If you can make a deal for us to get Mark Vientos, we would be happy to work around something like that. That's kind of just where we're at.
Has our guy Will Salmon been on Ty France at all? The other thing is, too, is like a Red Sox beat writer giving me this news means a lot less than like when someone inside the house tells us.
I haven't seen Will say anything specifically about this, but I still don't doubt it. Like, Cotillo is a good
No, I know
he's
a good reporter. It's just the Red Sox have a former Met beat writer, and he didn't say anything. Like, I don't know. Sometimes I get a little cautious when I hear these things.
It is funny though. Ty France does again still fit the mold of like trying to get some guy who has some versatility, who looks like he's going to be a plus defender, and who just puts the ball in play a ton, high contact rate, low strikeout rate. It is very much what the Mets seem to be chasing right now, which is why he had to lead this list.
Yeah, I did not put him on mine, but I guess you would have figured that.
Okay, yeah, glad you didn't then, because I think we had to mention it first. But I do just wonder if they just like it does. Does David Stern's ideal close to this offseason or ideal 2026 26-man roster just not have Mark Vientos on it?
Probably. I mean, that's one of the things that we
It
said
feels like
early on when after the post or the press conference after the season ended. It felt like those comments were directly at Mark Vientos. Like, you will not
Some
be
of
on
them.
this team next year.
I wonder if there hasn't been a good enough offer for him. I wonder which
Definitely
team
hasn't been.
I wonder which team out there actually would even want him, but like I'm sure many would. Like every bottom dweller team should be wanting to take a shot on Mark Vientos.
I saw a funny article that Mark Vientos would be perfect for the Yankees because they only have like left-handed guys to play first base, basically.
They are looking for a right-handed bat. Like, why not? But again, it's hard to stick him on your roster because unless you're going to give him full playing time, because then why are you doing this?
My number one pipe dream. Let's go get Framber Valdez too. Why not? Let's get crazy. Like we talk about the qualifying offer stuff. Let's get nuts. Let's go get the other best pitcher available on the market right now. Talk about building a playoff rotation. If you had Freddie Peralta, Framber, Nolan McLean, and then figuring out who the four was between Manaea, Senga, Peterson, and maybe even Jonathan if he takes that step forward. Like, Clay Holmes. I forgot about our boy Clay Holmes. That's that. Talk about a winning team right there, built for the regular season and postseason. I would love that, but it's a pipe dream.
It's definitely a pipe dream, especially because right now I think the Mets projected 40-man salary right now is $357 million almost.
Okay,
and then the projected 40-man competitive balance payroll is $377 million. Those figures are both according to Cott's contract, so we could be. And we're already paying projected, I think, $120 million in tax for this season. So if let's say you sign Framber for $35 million a year, because you probably still get him on a short-term deal, like a three for 110, three for 105. You wind up paying a $200 million tax bill, and you have a $410 million payroll. You still might not be better than the Dodgers. Like that'd be. I'd be pumped to watch that happen. But that would be a crazy way to enter the season.
Yeah, but listen, if I'm making my list, that's where it starts and ends. If there's one player left on the free agent market that can make a difference, it's Framber Valdez. And if you're not trying to get better, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, and I'm with you on that just because, like, let's say the Mets want to plug the starting pitching hole somewhere else on the free agent market right now. Also, it's funny, if you look right now on the best free agents available, how MLB.com lists them, I think it's by their last 2-year combined WAR. I'm pretty sure that's how they do it. I think like 4 of the top 6 free agent pitchers are still available based on the last 2 years of B-WAR.
It's like Framber, Gallen, Bassett,
Nick Martinez, Zach Littell.
Oh, God, gross. This is the thing. I don't want any of those guys. I have no interest in them.
That's where I was about to go with it right there, where if you are going to, like, continue to go into the penalty and do this, like, sure, like, Ty France for $5 million or some of the other very cheap players we're about to mention makes sense. But, like, you're not going to give up, penalties, QO penalties, sign Zach Gallen at this point. I don't want to add Lucas Giolito or Nick Martinez or Chris Bassett or Zach Littell to this rotation anymore.
Guys who legitimately, like, might be DFA candidates on this Mets roster based on how all the other starting pitchers could look.
Basically, if you're not going to get a guy right now who you think is definitely better than Tobias Myers, which I don't think any of those guys I can say definitively will be. Maybe I guess
Gallen,
besides
maybe?
Gallen, but also Gallen with the QO penalties. Like if you're going to pay a penalty, get a guy like Framber, who still is. I think it's being washed away right now because it feels like he might be being blackballed for the catcher cross-up thing.
He's 100% getting blackballed.
Or it's just not getting the offers he wants. It's going to stretch as far as we can make it stretch. Like he's still like a top 20 pitcher in the league.
Oh, he's so good. He's incredibly good. And if the Mets, again, like infield defense, if you want to pair up Ty France because you got Framber Valdez and you want the premier defense for the ground balls.
Two for one.
Now I get it. Now I'm in. Ty France only comes if Framber Valdez does. That's my rule.
I feel like if the Mets also got Framber Valdez, we'd become like easily like a top 10 rotation in baseball.
Yeah, without a doubt.
If not like top 7.
It's unquestioned.
Like I think that is the and again, just I wanted to reiterate those tax penalties and those numbers we're at right now because it would get nutty. That's what this team would have the highest payroll in the Steve Cohen era, which is kind of funny to think about.
I mean, like you said, $400 million would be insane.
It'd be kind of crazy to think about. The team cost almost half a bill this year, over half a bill with the penalties. But he was number 2 on my list because again, same reasons. Like if you still want to do one more thing that's crazy and puts the team over the top, I really severely doubt this happens. That is what it would be.
Number 2 for me. Evan Phillips. He's still available. I know he's coming off major injury. It seems like he's holding out to try and find a spot where he's going to be the guy. The problem is there's not many of those situations really available anymore. And maybe the reason he's still available is people are worried about that arm, worried about the medicals,
clearly,
which I think is super, super fair. But at the same time, like, again, probably someone who's not going to cost you very much and does have crazy upside. Like when Evan Phillips was healthy the last few years, he was awesome. He's a guy who had a K rate hovering around 30% at times, didn't walk a ton of batters. He was one of the dominant best arms in the Dodgers bullpen for a lot of the years outside of the last 2 World Series runs, even in the World Series run.
Outrageous sweeper as well. I think the worry with a guy like Evan Phillips is the the concern with that arm seems fair
Yeah.
because he didn't pitch after like May 10th or something last year.
And
Like
I think
he was
when
out of
came
there
back,
early.
yeah, his velo is way down too. So maybe it's just he's dead.
He lost a tick last year, and again, he was kind of in and out, but kind of in the blink of an eye before anyone could really notice it. And then other pitches wise, like everything, the fastball is the only thing to have a real drop in velo. Just looking at pitch movement stuff, everything else was kind of the same. It was just losing that fastball velo, going from 96 to 95. Again, with a wipeout sweeper, you probably still are worried about some kind of just way you can get lefties out at that point for not gassing them up with fastballs.
And at that point, I'm like, I don't know, give him the 1 year deal for cheap. Like
1+1.
Yeah, 1+1.
The Adbert Alzolay.
Yeah, give him the Adbert. Let's see what's going on. Maybe they just think Adbert's that good. But I like Evan Phillips, and I still think one more reliever would be nice.
I think one more reliever would be nice too, so it's good because my number 3 was another reliever. Similar concept, same team. It's Michael Kopech.
Yep.
Kind of surprised he's not signed yet, and I think that
He had injuries too, right?
big ones last year. So he last year missed the beginning of the season. He's also always had injuries, but he missed the beginning of the season with a shoulder impingement. Came back, pitched through the summer, early part of the summer, then went out with a torn meniscus, an injury that usually will take months to heal. He was back, I think, like the first week of September after tearing that meniscus. I want to say late June, if my memory serves me right, which felt fast. He made 5 appearances. Stuff all looked good. The fastball velocity was down a full tick, but all the stuff still looked good, shape and everything. And then he went right back in the IL, knee soreness, and then wasn't there for the playoff run. But like you kind of could see how big of an impact a guy like Kopech could make with his stuff. The first Dodgers World Series run where he was just lights out. He came to that team for like they traded Miguel Vargas. They also got Tommy Edmonds. It's a pretty good trade for the Dodgers, one that really pushed them to that 2024 World Series. But I do agree that we could use probably another guy in this bullpen, but I do wonder if the Mets actually want to add another guy.
Yeah, the thing that I always go back to with Kopech, and I guess that's maybe been quashed a little because he pitched in LA, but also like it's still not the same LA and New York. You don't get the same pressure nearly at all. Kopech, I think, has struggled with some mental health stuff in the past.
Yes.
And like I'm not trying to hold that against him by any means, but we see how ruthless Mets fans are, and we know how rough it can be here. And I don't know if he would even really want to be here. Like, the Mets could be like, we would love Michael Kopech, and he might just be like, I'm okay. I don't need to play for a crazy fan base.
It's definitely possible. It's also something that David Stearns has mentioned recently about wanting to like maintain some flexibility with this bullpen, thinking that the bullpen last year wasn't flexible enough. I think at times it might have been too flexible, but once Minter is healthy, as long as no one goes to the IL by that time, there'll be 2 optionable spots in the bullpen, and you'll have
Which
guys
is probably where you want to be.
Probably. I think they truthfully might want to be, again, between 2 and 3 right now, because by the time Minter comes back, I'm sure some other reliever gets injured and goes on the injured list, of course. But like, I don't think that David Stearns wants to box himself in, especially considering that this is the year we should, and we've been saying it like every episode now, we should be getting some graduation of demons. Yeah. Like someone should be ready to go this year from the minor leagues, jump into this bullpen and be sick. We're getting a lot of murmurs about Christian Scott. He's already throwing in St. Lucie. He could be one of those guys, again, with an option. Brazoban still has an option, of course. We love our king there.
My guy.
Austin Warren has an option. The rest of these Mets to get relievers who have options are fun. It's a good glob of chaos group this year, and I just think that Luis Garcia probably was their last swing.
I keep forgetting about him. And he does have velo. I forget about him.
He's got velo. He throws 98. It's a sinker. It's not a fastball. It's got velo. But like just again, Christian Scott, Pintaro. I mentioned Austin Warren. Like who are the other optionable guys? Dylan Ross, Alex Torrio will try again.
He'll be back.
He'll be back. Would definitely be back. Brian Lambert might get a shot if he shows.
Hagenman.
Nate Lavender's still around there. Like there's guys around there if they want to give these guys a shot. Like Alzolay doesn't have an option, so once he comes up, he's up and he's on the team. Same with Michael Baumann. I wonder if he'll be there. There was Nick Burdi, Craig Kimbrell. We forgot about Carl Edwards.
Yeah. They probably are done.
Joe Jock, but it's still, to me, it's like you could be worth trying to get a demon. And Kopech's ceiling could be great. Like again, like the fastball still, it went down from 99 to 98 last year. Ooh. Like, oh no, my steak is too juicy. But he also killed his slider and like kind of just focused more on the cutter. That cutter had a little more bite on it, but I think when his shapes wasn't blending so much with the slider, had a little more lift on it. Like he still probably at perfect health could be a top 20 reliever in the game. You just don't know if you get the perfect health. So you'll know if you want to take that shot and again, possibly box yourself in.
All right. Number 3, I'm going to also take a former Los Angeles Dodger here. I would love to have this team and Kike Hernandez on.
Okay, I thought about him.
Talk. Oh, you want a lefty masher? Kike Hernandez. He could play first base. He could play left field. He could play third base. He could play second. I don't know if he could play short anymore. He could play right field. Put him in center field. Why not? I think that he would be a fun good acquisition, crush lefties, and talk about a glue guy, talk about a good clubhouse guy, talk about a winner. Kike Hernandez, that guy goes around and shows up at the biggest moments every single year. I would kill for a guy like that on this roster.
The thing about him, though, is that can he play not on the Dodgers? Every time he's tried to leave the Dodgers, he's been terrible.
Well, he was good with the Red Sox.
He was briefly good, but didn't really click back in until he got back to the Dodgers.
And I'll say this, too. He's actually not even been good with the Dodgers.
No,
he just
the
has the big moments. Yeah, it's just the playoffs he turns it on. He's pretty much a below-average player throughout the regular season for his entire career. But, man, he's a dog, and I'd love to have a dog like that on the Mets.
I think the big thing, too, with Kike is that he's still just a really good defensive player.
Yes.
Like last year, he showed plus value based on OAA and in left field, at third base, and at first base, while being a neutral in center field and at second base.
I would just rather have him over Ty France in a heartbeat.
Yeah, probably. Again, unless the Ty France thing, maybe there's some slight concern. Like maybe the first few weeks for Jorge Polanco, they're like, shit.
Yeah,
we might need a glove. We might need a different glove over here. But like that
late game replacement.
That was weirdly like my first thought when I heard the Ty France thing. I was like, man, those first couple ground balls at first base didn't go too well for Polanco. Those scoops didn't find their way into the glove. But like the Kike roster spot and the guys I'm going to talk about next, I do think this team still wants a utility infielder or just a simple utility player. It's probably Ronnie Mauricio's roster spot because Ronnie Mauricio just, even though he's about to turn 25 years old, he has to get reps this year.
Yes.
And it's not going to come with this major league team. He has to just go to Syracuse, and I don't care if he has a 1,200 OPS. He needs to play every single day. You could play second, you could play short, you could play third, play first, play left. I don't give a shit, but like go out there. You need to get 4 plate appearances a day.
It's kind of like messed up what we're going to say here, but like he needs to play every single day so that God forbid there is an injury to somebody in the lineup. He's the starter. The guy who takes that spot on the team right now should never be the starter, even if there's an injury. That's Ronnie Mauricio's spot. Wherever it eventually does end up, that's where he plays. But don't have him on the major league roster until then. Let someone, and you better not say who I think you might as a guy, because I'm gonna be so. You're not gonna tell me IKF, right?
Well, but my number 4 is a conglomeration of infielders. I'm going to run
classic cop out. Okay.
I'm going to run through the pros and cons of each one because I do think that we're going to leave this offseason with one more infielder because again, I don't think Ronnie Mauricio is going to be an opening day roster, which is not a shot at him. He just needs reps, and I think that we can beat Vidal Brujan. I think we can beat Vidal Brujan with this spot. I think we can get someone better.
I would hope we could beat Vidal Brujan.
So with that being said, here's my list. And also, you mentioned Kike as a lefty masher. The way this roster is right now, we don't really need a lefty masher anymore. Well, it's the first time I can say that in a long time about the Mets.
It's more about with like Carson Bench in left field too. Like you could put Kike in left, yeah.
And I think my number 5 is a right-handed caddy for Carson Bench, possibly.
I think we have the same number 5 then.
We might have a different one. I'm curious. I actually kind of went a little deeper, found one I didn't expect from mine. But okay. I have a melange over here, 4 outfielders, a smorgasbord, if you will, and they are.
Oh, you went outfielders here. I thought this was
infielders. Side, I misspoke. So here's the 4, and then we're going to go through pros and cons for each one. It's going to be a fun little 5-minute segment in the Mets'd podcast.
I can't wait to rant about the IKF mention.
Yeah, someone's going to crash their car right off the interstate right now. The Van Wyck, someone's screaming at me. Ramon Urias.
I don't hate it.
IKF. Dairo Estrada.
He got shot. That's dog.
That was like 7 years ago now.
Still 50 Cent.
And then Luis Urias. So two Urias on here.
The Urias family.
2 Urias on here. So first one we got Ramon. Here's the pros. He can be a plus defender, second and third base. He's been that forever. He was like such a meme with the Orioles because especially in the fantasy baseball circles, everyone's like, why is Ramon Urias playing every day? Let's get any prospect onto this team and playing. And all Ramon Urias did was stave off the young guys as much as he could until he finally got knocked off the team this year.
Until they were like, Jordan Westbrook's just better.
I think he finally got traded and he got non-tendered by the Astros. But the other thing about Ramon is that he kind of has always had this rep as a lefty masher. At least that's something I've internalized. I went through all the stats in the data today. Not whatsoever. No. Not in the counting stats, not in the underlying stats, so not at all. So he probably isn't anything close to even a league average hitter. Like I think Ty France profiles a better hitter than Ramon Urias, but Urias profiles a much better defender at second and third, if that's what we're possibly seeking. I think he's a fine option for that.
Like, is it crazy to say that I would rather have defensive insurance for Bo Bichette at third than I would for Jorge Polanco at first?
Yeah, it possibly is. I think Jorge Polanco is going to be a good first baseman.
And at worst, he's going to be like probably still better than Pete was defensively.
At worst.
At worst.
And again, like there's been, I think we went over this a few episodes ago, where there's just been a lot of these kind of guys who have moved down the defensive spectrum to go from like second or third to first and just been good the whole time. Like, it's never really been an issue. This was a good tweet from
Padres had all of them.
Yeah, from Mets Metrics had this tweet like a month ago now where it was Jonathan Aranda did it, he was really good at first. Michael Busch did it, he was fine at first. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., he's pretty good at first. He's okay at first. Cole Keith did it, fine at first. Like all those just happened in the last like 18 months, 2 years.
Yeah.
Vladimir Guerrero a little bit before them. There's a good list of guys who have done that.
Jake Cronenworth.
Yeah, Cronenworth did. He was pretty good. Luis Ariz almost did it, but he was actually significantly worse. Thank God he's not a conversation here anymore. Next one, different. IKF. So here's the pro. He is actually still an elite defender. He is really good, and this would give a real meaningful backup at shortstop. This 40-man roster doesn't really have right now at all. Like if
Bichette.
Kind of. I think IKF's definitely a better defender short than Bo Bichette.
Yeah.
Here's the big con for IKF. He sucks.
He's
terrible. I don't want him on this team.
I don't even know if he's a good vibes guy. I really don't.
I don't think he is anymore. I think the fact that the Blue Jays lost the World Series because he didn't take a lead, it's just like you're like, geez. Like I don't really want to look that guy in the eye in the clubhouse. But
and there's no way for me not to be mad in April when IKF is like doing anything. Like it's just for my mental psyche, I can't have him on this roster. I can't do it.
I would feel the things that like everybody else felt with the Joey Wendell situation.
Yes.
With IKF. That would be my Joey Wendell. So I think
give me Zach Short again. Yeah.
I had to throw him on here because I feel like there's probably been a conversation, but I don't think it's possible. Next one, Thairo Estrada. Thairo Estrada is interesting. The injuries have really piled up over the last few years, especially last year being, I think it was a wrist and a really bad hamstring and knocked him out for the whole year when I had him on so many deep fantasy teams.
Because he was on the friggin' Rockies. He should have been great.
But like 2 years ago when he was on those Giants teams, like he was a good player. Like he played every single day, was good, especially 2023 and 2024. He was an elite second base defender. And that was with Kai Correa. Like he was the infield coach for those teams. So I think that little connection there, I think, is something. And he doesn't swing a pool noodle. He makes lots of contact. Like he doesn't strike out very much. It's not the worst power in the league. Like he's someone who I think is interesting, but his hamstring might be roast beef because we haven't heard a word about him anywhere.
No, nobody has made a move after him at all. The Rockies said, we'll take Willie Castro, who last time we saw him, I think had a 25 WRC plus for the Cubs in the second half. So
I think also Luis Rengifo's still out there. I didn't even mention him.
He's been
pretty bad.
He had the one pop-off year where he made changes and said, I'm going to go back to the bad version of myself. Swing slower, hit the ball worse. He's terrible.
We also like getting Angels cast-offs because they're like, oh, coaching. This could help.
A change of scenery is probably the best thing that can ever happen. Look, you know what's crazy? Think about the change of scenery. Shohei Ohtani was incredible. Went to the Dodgers, even better.
Way better, significantly better. Imagine if Mike Trout ever got a change of scenery. Might actually win something.
Cared about winning.
Last one, quick one. Luis Urias. He's the youngest of this crew, 28 years old. So I think that's kind of meaningful. These other guys are all in their 30s.
He will be an angel. He was a former top prospect.
He was a former top prospect. Which trade was he in? Because he came up with the Brewers. Was he in a trade?
No, he came up with the Padres, I believe.
And then he went to the Brewers in one of those Padres-Brewers trades?
He went
something like
Padres, Brewers, Red Sox, Mariners. He's been all over the place.
I think Mariners.
Was he Josh Hader?
He might have been Josh Hader. I don't think it was Josh Hader.
I'm going to look him up real quick.
Gosser and Taylor Rogers. Yeah, look it up while I talk about it real quick. But just, again, fits what the Mets have been seemingly seeking this offseason, which is very high contact rate, good swing decisions. He's always been a pulled fly ball guy, which I think is good. But he's never actually been ever any kind of productive at the plate for a moment in his career.
He was traded with Eric Lauer to the Brewers for Zach Davies and Trent Grisham.
That's a legendary trade right there. That's baseball. That's good ball.
That's baseball, Susan.
Shout out David Stearns for that one. But also the other thing about Urias,
David Stearns connection.
There you go, right there. Yeah. The other thing about Urias that's bad is that his defense has been horrible. It was supposed to be plus.
Oh, yeah.
It's been really bad. So, again, I just threw him in here because he's 28, and like maybe there's some kind of reclamation thing there. But from this group, I think Ramon Urias is my favorite one, but I just think that we probably want to get a better bench infielder than Vidal Brujan.
I agree. I think the Mets are probably thinking that too. All right, now to kind of talk about the last two guys with each other, because your last guy's an outfielder too.
Yeah.
Trying to find the caddy for Carson Bench. First option to me was Austin Slater. He was on the Yankees last year.
That was mine.
Yeah, he mashes lefties. He literally crushes them, like 900 OPS against lefties. Like he's really, really good. That's the only thing he's done his entire career, and he will be a major league player for another 2-3 years because of that. He was hitting leadoff at times when lefties were on the mound because he is that good against them. And I do think it makes a ton of sense with Carson Bench. Again, it's going to kill Tyrone Taylor. Tyrone Taylor's gone off this team if that happens. You can't carry that many outfielders. That's kind of, I guess, the question, and they might just keep Tyrone around because if he plays left field on the days where there's a tough lefty on the mound, one, Tyrone does hit lefties better, and two, you're going to get elite defense out in left field. Like him and Robert next to each other, Nothing's dropping in the left on the left side.
I think that the thing though, why the Mets would probably still try to keep Tyrone Taylor, like this still might come at the expense of Ronnie Mauricio's spot, but then you have no actual infielders. But unless Brett Baty could do all the infield stuff, it's just that Robert, the
He's gonna
injuries
get hurt.
The injuries have been bad. You don't want to lose an actual plus defensive center fielder off your 40-man unless they're that confident in Carson Bench, which would be a real like nuts on the table kind of moment for this management team. I'm curious about that. But Slater's just like hit ball hard, run fast, good arm, good defense.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
And like there are other options out there. And right now, how we just had the conversation of trying to beat Vidal Brujan for a bench infielder. Right now, there's a chance, especially if Carson Bench doesn't make the opening day roster, which is possible, that bench outfielder spot is Christian Pache as the right-handed bat of the bench. And like I don't really want Christian Pache maybe on this major league team. I think he's probably also
I definitely don't.
At least he's a great defender, again, similar to Tyrone Taylor, but like other options would be like Randall Grichuk we've talked about, but his bat speed I think fell too much last year. It's probably over. Miguel Andujar cannot play defense.
Nope.
Starling Marte will not play defense. Mark Cannon and Tommy Pham are actually the other right-handed outfielders out there, and that's not happening.
Mark Cannon was my other guy because I was like, I'm really having a hard time. And you know what? He talk about elite vibes. Mark Cannon, just one of the nicest guys ever. Bring me a nice guy back.
That would be it. But you got to find a way to beat Christian Pache with this roster spot. And I think
like I would love for like Mark Cannon to like let Carson Bench stay in his apartment with him. Like that's where Carson Bench
good story.
lives. Live with Mark Cannon,
Yeah.
Eat good food, make sure you're at the ballpark on time. Just be like a glorified babysitter.
You're right, but that's part of the deal. Like I don't really want Starling Marte doing that.
I don't, but he has elite vibes. But
It's vibes. But the vibes were bad last year.
Yeah, the vibes were bad.
Everyone talks about how great of a vibe guy Starling Marte was, but the vibes are apparently horrible. So I don't know how good vibes he could have been.
Francisco Lindor and Juan Soto, that's why.
Yeah, right. But I mean, I would also like Tyrone Taylor if he could just be Carson Bench's babysitter. I think that'd be fun too.
Yeah, that's cool.
I think that'd be good. Like the country boy Carson Bench, like hanging out with Tyrone Taylor. I think that'd be a fun thing. I just think it seems like they're going to try and get like a few more roster fill-in types of guys. Wanted to try and cast a wide net here, but weirdly not the bullpen. It seems like they're not. That's the one spot they're not going to try and do it.
Yeah, and there's just not really that great of options either right now.
I mean, there's a few, but most of the real ones got scooped up. You know,
which makes sense.
Yeah, it's February 3rd when we're recording this. Like the offseason's over. The other guy I would consider for this spot, McCutchen would be good vibes.
Would be good vibes. I would actually love to see Andrew McCutchen play a little left field for this team. The thing is that Andrew McCutchen, come April 30th, might be cut, and I don't want to see Andrew McCutchen get cut.
Yeah, it's possible, but I think he'd be like a better version of Starling Marte to me. Like I think
I would love. Yes, definitely.
And as of right now, again, because I think Carson Bench will be on this team ASAP because I think they want to do the PPI, but I don't think he'll be on team opening day.
Everything leads. Wait, who's playing left field?
Tyrone Taylor. I really think it'll be Tyrone Taylor, and like I don't know, like
and Carson Bench.
It'd be very funny to DH Bo Bichette on opening day and let Brett Baty play third. Like these little teeny tiny quirks of this roster still don't feel super worked out.
But also, do they need to be?
No, I guess not. But like,
I actually think that's exactly why we don't have a DH is so that these little quirks can just be go play DH.
Yeah, whoever just DH. Or I guess it would also be really weird on opening day, like if Mark Vientos is DHing and Brett Baty's on the bench.
What if I give you? Well, that won't happen because Paul Skeens is pitching. Brett Baty's starting opening day. You're getting that left-handed bat in that lineup. What if I told you something crazy? What if they just DH Carson Bench?
I think he's a really good defender. He's his cannon for an arm.
But like against, you just put Tyrone out in the outfield. Get that defense.
I guess that might be the way. But like also, I think Baty's probably better third baseman than Bo Bichette still.
Oh yeah, defensively 100%.
Defensively, yeah. Like it's very funny to work all this stuff out. I
think Marcus Simeon's a better third baseman than Bo Bichette defensively.
He possibly is. I'm excited to see what Marcus Simeon can do. I've been doing like some second base stuff for like just positional stuff for fantasy baseball coming up.
Excited.
And like, yeah, I'm like maybe it's not cooked.
I hope so.
Same with Polanco. It's like the fact that these three guys are in the middle of the order. It's like, damn.
I like Polanco. I'm not. I mean, even in
Polanco's
our
good.
video, I was like, okay, but like not because of him. It's just more of again, we still kind of had fresh wounds.
Yeah, but it's just funny looking at this team right now. Like I still like this team a lot, and we've been doing a lot of the full league context stuff for the windup. I'm just like
mercenary Mets.
I'm going to be actually low-key glued to spring training games.
Oh, can't wait.
I want to see a ground ball hit to Bo Bichette.
It's going to be definitely an adventure early on, and hopefully by the day that the games actually start mattering, we feel confident in everybody at every position.
Yeah, this is the first time we've actually taken a deep breath. The dust has settled, like after like what was a crazy ass 6 weeks. And it's like, whoa, this team is really different.
And I think this team's really good. I think this team's really, really good.
Definitely really good, but I'm excited to see how it gels.
Love to know who you guys think the Mets should sign down in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to Mets'd Up on YouTube. If you're listening to us, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, drop us a rating, drop us a review, download, and subscribe. You can follow James on social media at
James Shiano.
I'm Giraffe Neck Mark. Thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.
Peace out, guys. Let's go, Mets.